Hi, fellow breeders. Mike here from Silver Spurs Equine. I hope everyone had a very happy Thanksgiving and stayed safe from the Chinese virus. Believe me, after getting the virus and spending a week in the hospital fighting to stay alive, I can tell you that that virus is nothing to fool with. And also, I hope you enjoyed learning what a great sire Boomernick is last time and will breed some champions by him. This week, I'm going to discuss another great sire, my fabulous Big Chex To Cash. Big Chex is Wimpy's Little Step's half-brother. They are both sired by New Chex To Cash and are both Golden Dapple Palominos. But that's where the similarity ends. Wimpy's dam was Leolita Step, who was sired by 47 and out of Step Light. Big Chex's dam was Snip-A-Gun, who was sired by 1 Gun and out of Miss Kimolina. Leolita Step had 10 money earners and a total produce record of $200,601, of which Wimpy accounted for $185,757. Snip-A-Gun, on the other hand, had 20 money earners and a total produce record of over $1 million, $1,081,969 to be exact, of which Big Chex accounted for only $220,826. My goodness, what a producer! Now, why am I going through all of these stats? Because on paper, Big Chex should be a much better sire than Wimpy. Yet, Wimpy is a $12 million sire and Big Chex is a $1 million sire. Here's why. Wimpy was winning the futurity when Big Chex was born, and even though Big Chex won more money than Wimpy, he was always in his big brother's shadow. Wimpy is going to be 21 next breeding season, and to preserve his semen, we are only going to do ICSI breedings. Big Chex, on the other hand, is still producing great cooled ship semen. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking down Wimpy. How can I and why would I? I love my Wimpy with all my heart. God knows it took me long enough to finally own him. He's the most famous and best sire there ever was. But not everybody can afford to breed to Wimpy, and even fewer can afford the ICSI process. So I'm offering my breeders a really great and very economical alternative. Big Chex To Cash. I know by now I must sound like a broken record when I talk about all of my stallions' conformation. But like I said before, if they didn't have excellent conformation, they wouldn't be able to perform as well as they did in the show pen and have such excellent longevity in their breeding careers. Let's take a look at Big Chex's conformation. The slope of the shoulder is just right, and as a result, the neck is properly balanced, as evidenced by the proper proportion of the top and bottom line of his neck. Big Chex's back is in proper proportion to his bottom line, and check out his hind legs, right underneath him for proper turns and stops. Now look at his hip. It makes a perfect box. You don't get much better conformation than that. Here is Big Chex in the show pen at the 2007 NRHA Derby. Check out these turns. See how the proper angle of his hocks enable him to plant his pivot leg and execute these great turns? Now, look at these circles. See how his front end is able to extend so he gets a proper stride? Not only does that enable him to run fast, it's very comfortable for the rider. Now check out these stops and rollbacks. See how proper hock position enables Big Chex to get to the ground properly and extend his stop? And check out this rollback, right back into his tracks. That's how you do it. Okay, now that we've seen how Big Chex can perform and how fabulous his conformation is, let's talk about breeding to Big Chex. The mares that have had the best results breeding to Big Chex were sired by or go back to Shining Spark, Gunner, Little Rough Peppy, Topsail Whiz, Smart Little Lena, and Gray Starlight. And Big Chex foals have done very well in other disciplines as well. You'll see Big Chex sired horses winning in rein cow horse and ranch riding. Of course, he has had money earners by mares of many different sires, but these mares that I have mentioned have had the best results. For the 2021 breeding season, Big Chex is on super sale now for only $950. So get your super sale contract while they last. They're gonna go fast. You know, when I discuss one of my stallions' conformation, I always try to highlight what's really important, and each week I'm going to introduce another factor in evaluating conformation. I hope you find it helpful. If you have any questions regarding proper conformation or pedigree, let me know, and I'll be glad to answer you. Michael out.